Hi, and welcome to another episode of Prosperly TV. I'm your host, Adam White. Okay, on this episode of Prosperly TV, we're going to go ahead and talk about the world of buying and selling websites. We're going to take a look at a website that recently sold at auction. We'll look at what people were looking for when they bought it, why it was appealing, what the price was, and all the stats on that site, so we can get an idea of what's happening and what do buyers want when you're looking to sell a website. Okay, here's the site that we're going to look at today. It recently sold at auction, and I won't tell you for how much just yet, but the name of the site is naturalmoleremovals.com, and you can just look at the site and see if you come to the site, it's basically just ranking medicine that removes moles. So it's basically just a reviews website, and you can see that it has content here and a lot of content that they, I'm sure, add all the time, and it looks like the site's run through WordPress, which, again, if you haven't heard me say that before, using WordPress is the best way to go because it's just so easy to do, set up, and so easy to manage your sites. You don't have to have hardly any type of HTML or web development experience to be able to edit and run a WordPress website. So anyway, I like the way this site is set up as far as a reviews website. You know, right at the very beginning when somebody comes to the site, it's very clear that what they're supposed to do. You know, it's like, hey, I need some mole removal, and here's their #1 recommended Dermatend. Let me go check these guys out. So they would either come here and read the review, or they go right to Dermatend's official website, which of course will allow them to buy the medicine, and then whoever owns naturalmoleremovals.com gets paid affiliate commission anytime somebody places an order here. So that is how this site works and how it makes money, and we'll take a look at kind of the stats on it and what it sold for and why it was valuable to people. Okay, so naturalmoleremovals.com. It just recently sold at auction about a couple days ago, really. And so here's some of the stats on it. It's receiving 40,000 monthly unique visitors. You know, and as you know from what I've taught in the past, that you always want to know how many unique visitors come to a website per month, not just how many visitors, because you want individual people, because those are the people. Individual people are how many people you have as potential customers. The site age was 2 years, so it's not even that old of a site, but already having 40,000 unique visitors was pretty dang good. They had monthly gross revenue of $3,428. So that's how much the site in total was bringing in every month, not including expenses, just before expenses. And then their net revenue per month was $3,298. So as you can see, here's one of the things that really appeals to buyers. You have a site that has a lot of traffic and is very cheap to run. You know, you see there's about $130 worth of expenses to run that website. So it's very, very inexpensive to run, and that's really attractive to investors or people that are looking to build a portfolio. Here's the next thing that's really attractive to people looking to buy websites, and that is top 10 Google rankings for the term mole removal, skin tag removal, natural mole removal, wow, it's a tongue twister, and many more. I mean, we have how to get rid of skin tags, mole removal at home. I mean, this site is really optimized very well, and so it just appeals to a mass audience because people see that, hey, look at all this traffic coming in for free. There's no expense to run this site, and I can take this site over immediately and have a $3,000 income from this site, and maybe even increase that more. So again, it's just got a lot of appeal. So it sold at auction for $54,500. That's a 16.5 month multiple, which is pretty good. You know, if I usually try to get at least 18 months of a multiple when in other words, take my monthly net revenue and multiply that by 18, and that's kind of where I want to be when I sell a website. But you know, honestly, if somebody offered me 16.5 months, I most likely would take it. You know, the whole point, you never want to get too in love with a site that you don't sell when you get a good offer. You know, when you get a good offer, you sell, because you just never know what can happen, especially when you're dealing with SEO and how Google changes things. You know, at any day you could lose your rankings and lose your revenue, you know. So if someone's offered you good money for it, you take it and you move on. There's always new things you can do. So that's just a good example of a site that fits under the Prosperly methodology, where all they're doing is reviewing a product or a couple of products. They push other people to those products, and they take a cut of the sales, but they don't have any customer service. They just get traffic coming in for free. So basically it's like, they're not doing a lot of work for $3,300 every month. And, if they increase their rankings even more and get more traffic, that amount is just going to increase. So that's why it's just so appealing to buyers. And you can put a site like that up for auction and get a 16.5-month multiple. Most website auctions go for 10 months, maybe 12 months if it's a good one. So 16.5-month multiple is pretty dang good for an auction. Now, if somebody's just coming to offer money to buy a site out of the blue, you can usually get a little bit more than that, 18 to 24 months. But at auction, that was really high, and it really stood out to me. But this is exactly the kind of website that I've run in the past, not necessarily in mole removal, but that's how I would set the site up. The design looks good and clean, and the SEO is done right, and you get paid for it. So I hope that's helpful. That just gives you a good idea of what kind of websites are selling for good profits right now, what you can expect to get if you try to sell it at auction, if you have a similar website with similar revenue, and just kind of see what, where the industry is at right now. Well, that's it for this episode of Prosperly TV. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. My handle is @AdamWhiteFilm. Also, you can visit my website at prosperly.com. A lot more information on buying and selling websites there. Thanks again for watching.